Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's deal with these drive shafts first. Okay, to tell the orientation of which prop goes on which shaft, because it is very specific. Okay, you want to look at the diagonal crossings of the cable itself and the angle of the props. You want them to match. How this is going at this angle, you've got this angle on the blades, you've got this angle on the cables. That's what you want. So these two match. Stick those on there, that on there, tighten it. And of course you're going to tighten that with a wrench later. Then we're going to take a look at this. See this prop? See this angle of the thread? We're going to match the prop with that angle of the thread. We'll install our prop again. Tighten that. We're going to insert our nylon washers. Like so. Now we're going to install our shafts. We're going to lube the shaft or squirt it in there, whichever way you'd like to go about it. And remember, the props rotate inward. They rotate inward towards each other. Inward towards each other. So we're going to take this prop, and to know we have the right angle, we're going to make an X on the deck like that. And notice the angle of the prop is parallel, perpendicular to that. So we're going to slide it in, and remember, just like on our Dominator, the orientation is up. You can see that our flat spots match the upside here. Just slide it in, and these have no set screws in there already. And it can be a little tough the first time to get in, but we get it in there, and notice we can line the flat spots up with the holes in there. We're lining the flat spots up with the holes. Get them lined up, see? Now, we go back to our bag, and we get our set screws. And those are going to be set in with your 2mm. Now, we've got our 2mm set screws. Sit on there like that. You don't want it falling off. You want to be very careful as you come over to here. So it's at an angle. Oh, that one changed angle on me a little bit. Get straight on there. Get it started. Just get it slightly snug. And you get one more of these set screws. Cinch it down there and snug. Then you tighten it, and again, you do not need to gorilla tighten it. Tighten in there. Voila. Do the same thing to the other side over here. And you're there. And the rule of thumb, when you have it all set up and everything, before you put it in the water to know whether you have the right orientation of the props, you want to rev it up and hold your hand about 3 feet back from it. Rev the engine, and you should feel wind. If you feel wind blowing on your hand, you've got it set up right. Alright, now it's time to get focused on the steering. So we're going to come here to the servo. First thing we're doing is remove the servo. Horn from the servo. Loosen this horn up. Chip it a little bit. Comes out like so. There you go. Now that we've removed the servo horn, we're going to take the servo rods and thread them in to here. And remember, just only leave a little butt on the end. Here you're only leaving a little bit on the end. 1.5 mil. Get those decently tight. And you're going to do the other side. Thread that in. Just a little blood of it sticking out. Slug that down. Stretch that down. Yeah, you didn't like that. Voila. Next, you're going to be threading the steering linkage to be coming out of these two holes. And we have a little trick. Now the easiest way to do this is to look into these holes and line the rods up. While you're looking for the holes, you can see there on the inside. Yes, this is how the assembly will look when you first thread them through. Next, you want to realign the horn back on the servo. And if you haven't twisted the servo much, it should be just as straight as it was. Get that back on. Replace the set screw. And you're there on that step. Next, we're going to attach this rudder. Okay, one thing that needs a lot of attention paid to, that a lot of people overlook, is there is a set screw in here that anchors this pedestal. You can go in there with a 2mm and you're going to tighten that. You can get that pretty tight because that takes a lot of torque. I mean, it takes a lot of stress. And you don't want that thing backing out on you. When it backs out on you, it freezes up the steering and then you think something's wrong with the servo. Moving forward with the steering, we've got our boots, we've got our set screws, and we've got our pin. So we're going to take these set screws and take our 2mm and just get them started here. Here's another set screw. Now that you've got these set screws started, now let's pay attention to this pin. This pin has a flat spot on it, and ours has a hood on it, so you don't lose it sliding off the bottom. Okay, first pay attention to the set screw back here. Make sure it's backed out enough, just enough. Then you're going to make sure these thread in the well, first you're going to install your boots. Almost jumped the gun there. Get your boots on, soldier. Skirts. We'll put the zip ties on later just to move this project forward. But we are going to be putting zip ties on these boots to secure it. Okay. Now, we'll make sure these thread into there. Hold this secure with this here. You take the hinge pin, remembering there's a flat spot, and that's going to face frontward to match. We're going to somewhat hold the pin like this. We're going to turn the assembly to the side like that. Okay, hold it to the side like that. We're going to come in with our 2mm. We're going to tighten this. Make sure it's all the way down. Tighten this and you get it nice and tight. Not gorilla type, but you want it pretty darn tight, because again, you do not want this set screw backing out, because if and when this set screw backs out, it jams things up in here. You don't want things jammed up in here. But that takes all the mystery out of your steering. So next, we're going to take the mystery out of how do we install the water pickup. Okay, we've got these little tubes, brass tubes. Slide down in these holes, but you got to kind of sometimes adjust them so they go into the silicone tube underneath. But with a little bit of negotiating, you can get them all. And remember, the slanted end is pointing forward. Now, as far as depth of the pickups, again, you're going to use your ruler. You want the tip of the pickup, you want the ruler flush with the ride surface over here. You want it flush with the ride surface in this area. But you want very tip right with the ruler on the ride surface. That's where you want to start. Ruler flat here. No lower, because it will create too much drag, but that's the optimal setting. Okay, your next adjustment is going to be with the out drives. This set screw here. You're not going to adjust anything. What you're looking to adjust generally is this gap. Right in here. This gap. But our boats come from the factory with the gap preset. All you're going to do is with your 1.5, tighten it. Make sure that's tightened on both sides. And generally check over all the screws. And that's with any RC boat ready to run. Go over all the screws, make sure everything's good. And with your water pickups, these are the set screws to set the adjustment. Make sure everything's tight in the drives, all the screws, and you're ready to go. Now, one thing I don't want you guys to forget about is flotation. You're going to use just your regular pool noodle, which should have been included with your boat, which very likely was. If not, always just use run-of-the-mill dollar store pool noodle. You want to stuff as much noodle in the nose as possible. Not a parody noodle in the nose. Stuff as much noodle in there as possible on your Dominator, all up in the bow. The Animal Cat, same thing. Get lots of foam under the deck. Well, now you've got your basic setup guide to get these beautiful boats going. And we're gonna have more videos that show more in depth, more tuning, and a lot more advanced settings on the boats. We're going to go into programming with the radio, with the ESCs, a lot of different things, tuning for different water conditions. And congratulations on your purchase of an Oxidean Marine boat. Remember, everything starts as soon as you get the boat home. Our customer service is excellent, and any questions, give us a call. And remember, join our Facebook group, Passion for RC Boats. Wow. Oh my God. Remember, join our Facebook group, Passion for RC Boats. It's a great place to share your ideas, share your projects, ask questions, and get unbiased answers. And we don't have a lot of bickering or any type of bullying or anything that'll discourage you from showing us what's going on and asking you questions. Again, congrats on your purchase of an Oxidean Marine boat, and